Hello, I'm Charlotte. In this vlog, I want to talk about my Contextual Studies project and some of the things I've been doing over the last few weeks to help promote myself as a business. From creating my own website to finding ways that really work for me to stay productive and proactive. One of those things was finding a routine. I'm really lucky that whilst I'm at ALRA, I have a very structured day which helps me stay on top of my training, and I wanted to find something to replicate this for my personal time and for once I've graduated from ALRA. Scheduling time aside to do my vocal warm-ups, read plays and stay active is really important. It'll help me keep a positive mindset and be prepared as an actor. This is really useful for when I've graduated and maybe in between work. Now I'm going to show you some of the things that I do as part of my daily routine. First of all, it's really important that I get a good amount of sleep. I try to get around 8 hours to make sure I'm well rested. I also try not to have too many lie-ins, so I try to be up early, ready to start my day and stay motivated. Staying healthy is the next important thing. Making sure I eat well is definitely a priority. I try to start the day with some lemon water and a healthy breakfast. It's important that I have enough energy throughout the day, as an actor's lifestyle can be very full on. When I eat well, I function so much better, and making time in my routine to be able to keep organised and plan my meals is really important to me. Thinking of myself as a business really helps me remember to take care of myself, and that also benefits my work. Which brings me on to staying active. I try to make time in the day to either go for a walk or go to the gym. I move a lot whilst at ALRA, so without scheduled movement lessons, it's easy to fall into lazy habits, but this keeps me moving. Also, getting outside is just a really good way for clearing my mind. After all my training, it's important I make time to keep practicing all I've been taught. Doing daily vocal warm-ups is essential, so making sure I give myself that time is key, so I can stay ready for any potential jobs and auditions. Even though it sounds simple, having a routine like this really helps me stay on top of everything. Of course, staying hydrated is also vital. I aim for around 2 litres a day. Tom suggested reading a play a week, so giving myself some time to make sure I do this really helps. Some days I will also listen to some radio plays, as that's something I really want to be involved with myself. Next, I try to find some time to do something creative. It's what I really love, so making sure that I get the chance to do that in my day helps me stay passionate. It's also when I feel the most myself. I think it's really easy when in between work to feel unmotivated, but this makes sure that that doesn't happen. Anything from drawing to journaling my thoughts really helps. With this routine, I feel focused and prepared as an actor going into the industry. So over the last few weeks I've been looking at my casting. I think I can play quite a wide range of roles. In the past I played a chav and I thought that quite suited me, and comedy roles like that. But I think my casting is probably the kind of indie alternative girl, someone with a bit of hardness, and I can play up in age. What I've done is I found a monologue that I think really suits me. It's from Plastic Figurines by Ella Carmen Greenhill, and it's Rose's monologue. Tom suggested to have a monologue ready that suits you, so this really plays up to my casting and I think it shows me off well. And I'm just making sure that I have monologues like this ready for auditions if I may need them. When it comes to auditions, Tom gave us a few tips. He suggested doing things like wearing something that maybe is a bit of a nod to the character. Nothing full costume, but just something that might help enhance your performance. Also focusing on what kind of an audition that I'm going to, so if it's for theatre, thinking if there's going to be a movement workshop, making sure that I'm wearing something that's easy to move in, and for when it's self-tapes, making sure the quality's good, all those things, just to make sure that I give myself the best chance that I possibly can. I just want to show you some of the articles that I've been looking at over the course of this project. So this is the Spotlight website. They have this news and advice section And here there's all different articles. So this is one in particular that I've been looking at. It's an actor's guide to routine, mentioning a lot of the things that I was talking about earlier in finding my routine. And yeah, this whole section is just a really good resource and place to come for advice on things to do with making yourself into a business, like how to make a show reel and things like that. So it's just something that has been helpful over these last few weeks looking at these things. I just want to show you now some of the websites that I looked at along the way. So this is Molly McGlynn's website. As you can see, it's a little bit bare, kind of looks like there's the odd bit missing, and I just don't think that it shows her off as well as it could do. It is easy to use and simple, but it just doesn't show much of her personality really. So this was something that I was thinking about when creating mine. So Sophie Giddens' website is here. This is one that Tom advises to look at as a good example. As you can see here, there's a little chance to get to know her. She kind of explains a little bit about herself, and also she has here the photography aspect. So this is something that I also did that's similar. And it's just a good way of her showing kind of something a bit unique and her kind of extra selling point. I also was inspired by the things that she included, like the CV and a gallery page, contact page, and just keeping her website really easy to use and informative, but still show who she is as a person. Now I want to show you the What's on Stage process. This is something that Tom Show does, and it's just a really useful way of finding possible work for yourself. So here is the What's on Stage website. I'm just going to go on to shows and tickets and select see all cities. So here it'll come up with all the different regions of all the theatres. You can go through all of these. I'm just going to start with Manchester because that's where I live near, and I'm going to select genre and choose plays and apply that, and that'll just narrow my search down. So here it'll show me all the shows that are going on in Manchester, and what you can do is click on them and it should tell you a little bit about the play, the information on when and where it is, and then also who's involved, so the directors, the company, and you can go away and find things out about these, and then it will also hopefully say if it's cast. So this one here has been cast, so what I want to do is find one that hasn't been cast yet. So if I look at this one, if I go down, this one hasn't been cast by the looks of it yet, so this is really good. And then also I want to see if it could be something that I could be right for. So it says that it has 4 women in it, so there could be a part in there that might be right for me. And then also, like I said, it tells me the director and the producer and the author, so I can go away and research this, find out a bit more about it, maybe look into when the audition is, if I have an agent, send it to them. And it's just a really good way of being able to stay proactive and find your own work and really kind of know about what shows are on, who's directing what, all that kind of thing is a really helpful and useful thing to be doing. This What's on Stage process can be a part of your actor's personal database, and to go along with this, it's really good to have a list of agents too. So this is a list of agents. I have the name of the agent, their location, their website, the people that I may know that are on their books, and then just something else, a little bit of information about them. So anything from how they maybe like to be contacted, or if I know somebody that I can get in touch with that maybe knows a bit more about the agents themselves. Having this database is a really useful way of just knowing who's who in the industry. It's a good way of me to look at agents and maybe find who might be right for me to go with. It's also just a good way for keeping on track of things, so if I'm to meet any of the agents, I can add some things into my notes about it, for anything that I need to remember that will be useful, that can help me out. I think just having things like this and the What's on Stage process, all these things just to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can, treating it really as a business and being professional and organised like this as something that I'm really wanting to focus on, and I think will benefit me a lot. One of the main parts of this project was creating a brand for myself. I'm a creative person, and so I wanted my brand to reflect this. I've created a website and a blog to help me to promote it too. I wanted to focus on things that I'm really passionate about, and one of those things is photography. I've done it in the past and I've got an A-level in it. I've also got the equipment to do it. It's also something that I saw on the example website from Sophie Giddens. She did it and I think it complemented the acting really well. I'd like to do things like photograph for theatre companies, and so I wanted to highlight this skill. Another thing is my artwork. It's a creative part of me and I really wanted to show that off. It's something that I love doing, and I think that art and portraiture that I love tells stories and in a similar way to my acting. And then the last thing is makeup artistry. Again, something I've done for a while and I have the equipment to do. I can do things from special effects for TV and film to more natural stuff for theatre, and I'll show you a bit of it on my website and blog now. So this is the website I created. I wanted to keep it simple and easy to use but still have my personality come through. I created an About Me page to allow people to get to know me, explain a little bit about my training and what I'm interested in, and also introduce my brand and my passion. So here I also have links to my CV and my blog. My CV I wanted to keep again really simple and easy to read. I've got my work experience, things ALRA, things at the Bolton Octagon, training, workshops and special skills. I also decided to put a gallery on after looking at other people's websites. It was something that I really liked. I think it allows you to see a bit more than just like a headshot. So I put some stage combat stuff, some things of me in production, some rehearsal shots. I then have a media page, and this has links to a space for my show reel. So right now it says coming soon. So that's ready for when I have my show reel to put there, and I also did one for a radio and voiceover reel. I thought keeping them kind of separate would make more sense and just allow it to be easy to use again. And then I made a portfolio page. So this is the page for where it's the most creative. I've included my artwork, my photography and my makeup artistry. This is the brand and the kind of marketing strategy I've chosen. So you can click on an image and it will just become bigger, and I've wrote little bits about kind of the reason behind things. I wanted a place to display lots of my work so people can see what I do and love. And then also here is where I've added a link to my blog. So this was something that Tom suggested I create. As it says here, it's a space for all things creative. So this is where I wanted to tie everything together, a place for me to be able to talk about my acting, my art, my photography, like I do in this piece here, about some of my work. I really am happy with how this turned out, and I think it does really show my brand and what I was going for. I added, of course, a contact page as well. This was something that all the example websites had, and I just kept mine really easy to use. I then also put in some links to my social media, my spotlight, my blog. I wanted everything to be linked and really simple, and although I've never created anything like this before, I've learned all the marketing skills I needed to really help create this website and blog so that I could promote myself and my brand. So that brings me to the end of my contextual studies project. I've learnt a lot through this process about how to promote myself as a business, and I look forward to continuing with this and taking what I've learnt with me into the industry. Thanks for watching.